What you doing? Making a vlog?
Aaron, come on, man. In light of 2020, I think we need some clarity on goal setting. So, first off, I want to say I recognize that the new year is a good time for goal setting or resolutions, as you call them. But I am not a huge fan or believer in setting resolutions. I think goals are good and awesome and great. However, I don't believe that we need to wait until the beginning of a year to do so. I know that it's just a clean slate for a lot of people and they just, it just makes them feel better. So I do think that we need a little clarity on goal setting. So I was going to share today about some ways that we can be successful in our goal setting and then also to achieve our goals. So first off, my family and I do review our goals at this time of year. So although we don't necessarily at the beginning of the year say, okay, let's set a bunch of goals, but we do review our goals that we've set over the course of the year. So we will be doing that, and we look at those. We say, okay, where are we with our goals? Do we want to add some more? Do we want to take away? Do we achieve this or whatever? Typically when we've achieved our goals, then during the year we cross them off and add more. So but anyway, so we do review those at this time, and that's a fun time to just something to do on New Year's Eve together as a family. Another reason that I don't think we should just use the beginning of the year to set goals is because if you have something about your life that you want to change and you realize it on June 6th of whatever year it is, then I am a firm believer that you need to, at that very moment that you feel compelled to change something, that's when you start. So I do think that there's something to just getting started. I really encourage you to think about that. As we go through the year, you can absolutely just add goals. We don't need to do this right this moment. So when we're setting a goal, it's important, I think, more than ever right now to review, why are you setting this goal? You have to have a huge why. Otherwise, you're not going to keep going. So when you're setting your goals, make sure that you know why you're doing it and make it a good why. Something that is going to keep you going even beyond the struggle. When you start to struggle, you're going to want to have a big reason. One thing, this is like a side note, I've learned this year is we have a health crisis in the United States. So if you have a fitness or weight loss goal, it may be more beneficial to focus right now on getting healthy rather than just getting to a certain goal weight, because being at a certain goal weight is not necessarily going to keep you healthy for the long run. So those types of things, just choose things that you're going to be passionate about. So this leads me to the number of goals. If you are anything like I was in the past, I would have so many goals. I would write down 15, 20 goals for the year. And I just beat myself up all year long because I'm not achieving my goals or I forgot about them. So you really want to focus in on what's most important to you, the most immediate thing that you want to change, or fix or whatever it is. So if you know yourself and you know you're going to give up on a goal, this is my thing about the goals. We can have a million goals, but the problem is that most of the time we don't accomplish our goals because we just have too many goals. So narrowing this down to 1 to 3 really personal, specific goals is going to help you a lot. So if you're a person who year after year sets the same goals and you're never achieving them, not because you're a failure or anything like that, but you just have maybe taken the wrong approach, I recommend one goal. literally one goal. And then from there, you build some stepping stones, just some baby goals, if you want to call them that, on how to achieve your overall bigger goal. So, for example, say you want to run a 5K. I don't know. I love running, so I'm going to use a running example. And you don't run. So your baby stepping goals before you can run a 5K, obviously you want to put a timeline on that, but is to start walking. Like, okay, I'm going to start walking, 5 days a week or whatever it is. And then you start adding in a minute of running, maybe a couple of minutes walking, a minute running, and so on. And I would definitely just go based on a tried and true couch to 5K. I mean, whatever. So you want to have baby goals that get you to your overall ultimate goal, because you're not just going to go out and run a 5K if you haven't ever run before. Same with your health goals, your weight loss goals. I would not dive in and say, I'm going to have meal planning, I'm going to lose this much weight, I'm going to go to the gym and work out. No, that's probably not going to happen. So you need to scale back, make a really attainable goal, something that you know that you can do and stick to. Because really, most of the time when we have resolutions or life goals, these are things that are changing our life. Like, you are changing the way that you're living. Like, you don't want to go back. You want to change something about yourself in a way that is going to become a lifestyle. So in order to do that, you are going to have to overcome years of the way you used to do things. So that could be, if you're used to eating a certain way for the last 30 years, you're going to have to give yourself some grace, and it's going to take a while. For example, when I started to do my God time every single day, it took me over a year to get that as a habit, as to get that as if, just as normal as waking up and brushing my teeth. So that's the goal here, is when you're changing something, you don't want to go back. You don't want to go back to where you were. No, you need to give yourself time and patience and grace, and, make goals that you know that you can achieve with some support, and building yourself in a way that you can maintain it. So, making sure you know your why, okay? A couple of goals, 1, 2, 3 goals, no more than 3. And then making sure those are attainable goals, and then having baby steps to get to those goals. And then another thing I want to mention is your support system, your accountability is so important for this. You want to be sure that you're surrounding yourself with people who are going to understand what you're going through, what your goal is, what your challenges are going to be. Be honest with yourself, be honest with them. In the past, I've struggled so bad with this and I've never achieved this. I really need some help here. People who are not going to give you an excuse or way out. So nobody that's going to, sit around and say, oh, it's fine if you just binge, or, oh, you've already cheated today anyway, you might as well just, no, those people have got to go. I mean, you can keep them in your life, but maybe not for this reason. But really surrounding yourself with people who are rooting for you and want you to achieve this life change. It's so, so key in your goal setting. So also, once you make this decision, resolution, goal setting, whatever, it is non-negotiable. You set a time for yourself to get this done, and it is non-negotiable. Just like brushing your teeth every day, for most people, is not negotiable. Same. You have got to stick to it as if it were etched in stone. So important. So once you have written your goals, you figured out what's most important to you, you've got your 1, 2, or 3 goals, and you've got your little baby steps, it's time to execute. We don't wait for a certain date. We don't wait until you finish up the box of cookies. You don't wait until things feel better for you or whatever. You start right away. Like, you just start right away. If you fall off the bandwagon, that's all right. Just keep going. It doesn't mean that it's an excuse to just give up and, oh, I can't do this anymore, or this is pointless, or anything. No, nope. You let yourself say, okay, I messed up and I'm going to keep going, because nobody has ever not messed up. I promise you. So set your goals, make sure they are realistic, guys. Look over your list. If you are like, in the back of your mind, if you're like, I'm not going to do this, don't even put it on there. Don't bother. Focus on the one thing that you will do, and the one thing that you have the resources to do, the one thing that you can get the support to do, and go from there. You really can do this. You just got to really make it realistic, attainable, and surround yourself with loving people who are going to encourage you and help you reach your destination. So hopefully that brought you some clarity on goal setting. And as everything in life, it is messy and it is cluttery and it's awful to try to get through. There's times when it's going to be hard and it's going to suck. But when you get to the other side and it's just like waking up and brushing your teeth, you're going to be so grateful you did. And it's going to make you stronger and better for the people in your life who need you to be strong and need you to be there for them. So keep pushing yourself. And I will have more on this, like kind of maintaining and encouraging you along the way. Here's my final thoughts and challenge for you. As we look into 2021, we are really uncertain as to what is coming our way. But I think if maybe we take the perspective of that the Lord is rooting for us, He's fighting for us, and He's on our side. We know He wins. Because He wins, we win. So maybe as we enter the trials and tribulations of whatever this year brings, if we have that outlook and that perspective, perhaps we can get through it a little more gracefully than before, when we've just felt like it was just torture. And maybe there's some hidden blessings in when we're going through the trials. Maybe we can bless others, or maybe God has that as part of our story so that we can help someone along the way later on in life. So just something to ponder, think about those types of things. As you're setting your goals as well, just think about where you want to be, not just physically, not just mentally, but spiritually. I highly encourage actually a morning routine if you can get on board with that for one of your goals. It's such a life changer, and my God time just changes everything. So I would highly recommend that as well. Let me know down in the comments what your goals are for 2021. And if you are just kind of stuck and you need a little help with that, like setting your goals or where to begin or anything like that, also let me know. Let me know below, and I will definitely reach out to you. I'd love to help in any way that I can. Before you go, check out some highlights from my week. I would like to think some clarity in the clutter of my life, things that we really enjoyed this week. So enjoy.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! Dun, 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 dun.